The doctrine of the Trinity is probably the most indelible idea about the Christian faith the world has, about Christianity as a religion. This belief that God is three persons and yet one God is mystifying, perplexing, and the source of much confusion. Even as Jesus said that we will be known by our love, we are perhaps far more likely to be known for what we believe. And that, my friends, is a problem. Hi, I'm Drew, and this is Faith 15. Today we tackle the doctrine of the Trinity. If we wanted to spend the next 2 hours on this, I'm sure we can drag out a bunch of ancient texts and all the different visions we have for this one idea. We're not going to do that. But we need to say at the outset that the Trinity is actually a really simple idea, despite what everybody says. The Trinity is the theological doctrine that claims that there is one God, who we simply call God, who has been given many names in the past, and even now, some believe that her name is so important that we don't say it, we just call her God. That God is one. God is also, at the same time, three, defined as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So God is one, and God is three. So God doesn't change from one into three like a shapeshifter or Voltron. God is not a three-leafed clover where three and one are both equally or definitionally present. And right about now we go, wait, I thought you said the doctrine was simple. The problem with articulating the doctrine of the Trinity is that it gets messy really fast. And many people just throw up their hands and fall back on the easiest excuse we can find. It's a mystery. Now, I'll admit, I do that all the time, right? There's no shame in that. It's just the easy excuse. The problem is that this doctrine did not arise in the church because it made sense. Nor do we uphold it because we all are going, yes, this is the most logical argument I've ever heard. We came to it by eliminating every other argument as being worse. Ultimately, we get the Trinity because we need to figure out who Jesus and the Holy Spirit are in relationship to God. And with that come a whole host of utterly unsatisfying, dead-end arguments. So, in a sense, the Trinity came to us not as the beacon of truth, but as a kind of voting for the lesser of two evils. And I always feel obligated to say that the arriving at this decision involved massive violence, murder, and hatred, right? And the tremendous acts of excommunicating whole countries of people. So it's not like a couple of people presented the idea at an academic conference, right? And all the people went, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So smart. Why didn't we think of that? Much pain and destruction was involved in the forming of the doctrines we take for granted. And on top of that, the pursuit of doctrine, the sense of creating order itself, led to the excommunication of countless faithful followers of Jesus. So, why the heck do we keep this thing? Covered in the blood of violence, distortion, and ultimately an idea that feels a bit like holding your nose while voting. Well, because its power is not found in applying Western philosophy to make complete sense of it. Our problem is that we use our heads to try and understand it when we should let it into our hearts so we can be changed by it. The Trinity, in its entirely improbable, unexplainable, simultaneously inconsistent math problem of an idea, is exactly like what it means to be a human being. That you are at once both one and many. You are yourself, and you are one of the children of God. The Trinity is ultimately not a proof that explains how God is one and three at the same time, but how inseparable we all are, and even from creation itself. In the Eastern Church, there is a way of describing the Trinity as a divine dance, that the three persons are at once always in relationship, always moving, always at the same moment. They exist not to be only themselves, but exist in relationship. So it is the relationship that utterly defines the Trinity. Being Trinitarian in this sense means that we can actually embody Jesus' statement about being known by our love, that we need not be a religion defined by our doctrine, but by our relationship to our world, that we are known for our love for each other, for creation, for the entirety of this single ecosystem. For it is me, it is us, it is God. And we are one in love. Keep loving, and I'll see you next time.